What's going on about this Afro think tank? Now, I can't say this person's name because I want this to be monetized, all right? But I knew she was a hoe. I knew she was a hoe, all right? I knew she was a high-priced prostitute. It was clear. That's exactly what she's been this whole time. She never thought that she was going to be the first lady of the United States. In actuality, she's the first prostitute of the United States. She is most definitely one of those. She is a what you call me? Mail order bride. All right, she's one of them type. All right, mail order bride, black market version. All right, Jeffrey Epstein stamped and approved. All right, mail order bride. All right, now she was just supposed to marry this big, fat, disgusting, nasty, ugly, man, and then reap the riches that came with it, because she probably came, from a, poor background, maybe. That's usually how it worked, right? After she done got tossed around by various other millionaires and billionaires, I'm pretty sure she's been on the roster. Like, she's been used before. She wasn't brand new off the lot. She came from the used car lot, talking about Jeffrey Epstein. But anyway, I'm just glad it's finally coming out. And I knew it was something weird, because she came out and had a little press conference like some weeks back. I'm like, anybody was even checking for her? She had a whole press conference, made a whole announcement about, hey, they lying. And then the people that had the information waited a little while, so we all forgot about it, right? And then bam, she dropped that shit, right? So now everybody's like, oh, that's what she was talking about. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty details of this shit. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something, and I'm out.
Melania's former best friend says she was a big old hooker. All right. So the Daily Beast is reporting the following. Pop this up. A former Brazilian model has claimed the first lady was an escort for Epstein and met the president through the notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. And so you may go, Melania, when's the last time we heard from Melania? Yeah. It was when she did a random press conference and said the following. Play the clip.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation.
It sounds to me like this is just the way I see it. If you're the first lady of the United States of America and somebody says you're a hooker, you just ignore it. I mean, think about all of the insults and all of the shit hurled at Michelle Obama. She didn't have an emergency press conference to deny some salacious allegation. So obviously, I look at this through the same lens that I do when Trump talks about acing his cognitive. He failed them. And I would have never thought, I wouldn't have given this that much credit, except for the fact that she went out of her way to try to play offense on it, because she was allegedly a hooker introduced to her husband, the president of the United States, via Jeffrey Epstein. And I didn't even know that she was a high-end call girl. I think this might have even been a low-rent situation. The press conference was in response to tweets Angie sent from the same model who is making these claims. Let's pop this up. Amanda Ungaro tweets, and basically she's talking about Melania here, all right? She says, I will tear down your corrupt system, even if it's the last thing I do in my life. I will go all the way. I am not afraid. Maybe you should be afraid of what I know, of who you are, and who your husband is. I love this shit. I love it. I love it.
I'm so happy. And here's the thing. At the time that she made that press conference, and that was released, the early April, the release of her talking about this, that UpGuard talking about it, was to be imminently released. So that's why she tried to get out in front of it. And she just made it a billion times worse. And here's the thing. We now know that Todd Blanche, Pam Bondi, they went in and handpicked stuff to take from the Epstein files that will never see the light of day under Trump. We also have learned that Jeffrey Epstein didn't limit his sex trafficking to Americans, but had many, many, many girls from different countries all over the globe. This tracks perfectly with what he was doing. And I will just say this, coming from her, that she thinks people are mean-spirited and not respectful. They're not ethical. Like, shut the fuck up, lady. You are married to the most mean-spirited, least ethical, and disrespectful person on the planet. So your be best policy, start that at home. Even though I know you don't sleep in the same bedroom, I'm sure you see him enough to tell him to pipe down. So this whole thing to me is theater.
A bombshell recording about Jeffrey Epstein was just released. The recording, which was posted and then deleted by Amanda Ungaro, who was in a 20-year relationship with Paolo Zampalli and was really good friends with Melania Trump, claims that Epstein introduced Melania to Donald.
You never was the one introducing Melania to Trump. It was Jeffrey Epstein. I know because I was with you 20 years and you always told me it was not you, it was Jeffrey Epstein. Let's tell the public you never was the one introducing Melania to Trump. It was Jeffrey Epstein. She was a escort of Jeffrey Epstein. That's how she met Donald Trump.
Não se trata de insinuações vazias. Trata-se de fatos vividos, presenciados e suportados por quem conheceu de perto.
I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims.
Durante 20 anos, acompanhei relações, decisões e movimentos que revelaram o lado mais cruel do luxo, da influência, da manipulação. A tentativa de distorcer minha história não apaga aquilo que aconteceu. Pessoas que sempre souberam da verdade escolheram proteger narrativas convenientes em vez da transparência.
I was never involved in any capacity.
A verdade sempre encontra uma forma de atravessar a escuridão.
Epstein claimed that he introduced Melania and Donald Trump. And so Melania threatened to sue the Daily Beast, Michael Wolff, others saying retract that claim. Now we have a file that seems to substantiate Michael Wolff's claim. A one-time assistant to Jeffrey Epstein told the FBI that the pedophile introduced Donald Trump to his wife Melania. She went nuts when people started claiming that. And then what did she do? She said, I'm going to sue Hunter Biden for claiming that. Hunter Biden said, F off. And did she sue him? No, because she didn't actually want to take that to court.
I never been friends with Epstein.
The First Lady forcefully pushed back on what she called fake images and statements, appearing to connect her to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today.
But it's unclear why she chose yesterday to speak out. Even President Trump said he did not know anything about what his wife was going to say.
To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell.
But the First Lady did confirm she corresponded with his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. In an email released by the Justice Department in January as part of the Epstein files, she asked, "How was Palm Beach? I cannot wait to go down. Give me a call when you're back in New York."
My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence.
And despite photos from the early 2000s of the Trumps with Epstein and Maxwell, the First Lady said they only overlapped in social circles.
I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump.
The president's former Attorney General Pam Bondi is refusing to appear next week to testify on Capitol Hill about the Epstein investigation. In February, Bondi refused to face Epstein survivors at a hearing. Now, the First Lady says they should have a chance to tell their story to Congress.
Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public.
Now, the First Lady's office would not say whether this was in response to any particular allegation or an upcoming report. Instead, they pointed us to a statement from a senior advisor that said, enough is enough. The lies must stop.
church open.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.